My name is Doris Alberg. It's disheartening that a state trying to establish itself as a leader in clean energy with the first in the nation ocean-based wind farm would fall back into the fracked gas rabbit hole of carbon-based power by allowing such a plant, the biggest plant in all of New England, to be built within its borders. That sounds like a state that doesn't have a coherent or creative energy policy. It's ludicrous that a small state with no wilderness and shrinking contiguous forest, well on its way to becoming the nation's first all-urban state, would hasten that process by destroying even 1 acre of the undisturbed land it has left, never mind over 100 acres. This plant will depress tourism in the Washington management area. No camper would want to pitch his tent anywhere near such a constantly humming monstrosity after all the wildlife and interesting plants they might discover are driven out. The birds and animals displaced by this plant won't just take up residence in the next acre. Animals don't build high-rises and jam thousands of themselves into ever-shrinking green spaces like humans do. They go far away. They don't reproduce. They die, along with the carbon-sequestering trees and shrubs and soil and water. There's no greater good being produced here that will make up for the destruction of thousands of healthy trees. The state is already under threat of losing all our ashes to the emerald ash borer, all the hemlocks to Willia delgit, our red and sugar maples to warming environment changes that will drive them further north, white pines to pine blister rust, and who knows how many hardwoods to the Asian longhorn beetle should it ride into town. Are there any plans to seal the forest edges to prevent invasives from taking hold? Any canopy disturbance will cause dormant invasives to come to life. Where there were no forest edges, there would now be 4. All that new light and wind access created by the openings in the forest allow more chances for invasive seeds and insects to fly in. Specifically, the beautiful stand of healthy hemlock on nearby land trust property is put at risk by the hole in the forest and the new row that would be cleared. It is discouraging that a town that has always prided itself in remaining unpolluted by the likes of McDonald's and Taco Bell would welcome this Burger King of a power plant that is likely to rip up more acres of land, tear up more roads, weaken more bridges than 50 fast food joints would. The benefits of this project are short-term. I doubt that these foreign investment companies are interested in the long-term health and welfare of Rhode Island after they take away the woods and natural resources in Burrowville. The construction jobs for such technically complex project will likely go to out-of-state firms. Local hires will surely be intermittent and short-term. Likewise, applicants possessing the qualifications for the long-term, high-paying jobs of the power plant operators are sadly not many to be found in Burrowville. Invenergy states that the predicted benefit to the electricity rates will only last for a couple of years after the plant goes online. And I'm willing to bet that any taxes or pilots the town gets will not result in lower real estate taxes, but will end up being used to clean up the messes that we wouldn't have if the plant hadn't been built. Replacing inefficient power plants is a noble goal, but cleaning and converting those dirty ones, like the one going offline in Somerset, Mass., rather than building new ones on pristine forest land, is even more noble. If you take your dog into a public space, are you not expected to clean up after it? Of course, it may be more expensive to recycle these sites, but isn't it time that we expect companies to engineer everything we build in such a way to leave the world in better, not worse shape at the end of the day? I believe this project will ultimately create only another brownfield in town for our grandchildren to deal with. No one appears to have the vision to consider what the town will be left with when this plant is useless in relatively few years. Can we then convert it to a Bass Pro Shop, perhaps, that sells the equipment to enjoy what used to be there? And please remember the interconnectedness of all life on Earth, from the microbe living in the rich forest soil on up to the arrogant man who thinks that his actions never have a bearing on the survival of any species, including his own. As I see it, the plant will only hasten Burrowville to lose its rural character and become just another suburb of a big city like so many others, leaving only a token of countryness because it's deemed too expensive to remain rural.